What's up, everybody? I'm Jack Slater, aka the Comic Outlaw, yeah! And we're doing something a little different today. We are doing a what if. What if Peter Parker had to destroy the Spider-Man? Yeah! Oh man, this one is very, very interesting. So kick back, relax, and let's get into it. Yeah, and it says the last appearance of the Watcher, but we'll see about that. Anyways, we all know the story about Peter Parker. How he was bitten by a radioactive spider and became Spider-Man. How he had a bully named Flash Thompson. And everything in the in-between. I mean, you guys have seen the movies. You know what I'm saying. Anyways, this is another what if. Now, like I said, we went over this origin where Peter got bit by the spider. He started doing promotional things to make money. He avoided a thief. That thief ended up killing his Uncle Ben. He caught the thief. And this is what led him to become Spider-Man. You know, the whole great power comes great responsibility thing. But let's just say that it was different. And Flash Thompson pushed him out of the way and got bit by the spider himself. And he was the one that jumped out of the way of the car, pulling out a piece of the rock and throwing it at the car. Yes, Flash Thompson is a different kind of Spider-Man. He grabs a guy, rips the roof off, grabs the hood, and, of course, stops the robbery. Not because he was doing the right thing, but because, he just pissed him off. Anyways, Peter begins to forge a plan that Flash ought to be better. He has superpowers. He can do so much more. And this is where Parker begins to form a plan. And also, he's sort of jealous that he didn't get it. But Flash is just dreaming of all the things that he can do. The power that is given to him. And he'll take whatever he wants. Anyways, Flash and Parker have a talk, and Flash kind of convinces Peter to make him a few gizmos and stuff. This is where Peter develops the web shooters and the costume. And yes, Flash has other plans to use this costume beyond Peter's designs. Peter wants Flash to be a hero, but Flash has other plans. Meanwhile, in this reality, instead of Uncle Ben dying, Mary J. Watson dies, who becomes the wife of Peter Parker. So this never happens. Ripples within ripples, walls within walls, and wheels spin within wheels. Anyways, Peter gives Flash a new costume, and Flash just loves it. Something to hide his identity. Meanwhile, Flash is waiting, preparing, and also practicing his spider skills. And I love this. He just comes out of nowhere. The Vulture's about to give his big speech, and boom, he just gets hoodwinked by Spider-Man. And why does Flash go toodaloo? Oh well, I guess it's kind of a fancy way of saying F you. Anyways, Peter and Flash get into an argument, and this is where Flash kind of shows his true colors to Peter. And I'm a little surprised that Peter didn't see this coming. Of course, Flash says, you're going to keep inventing stuff for me, you're going to keep doing what I want, and if you don't, you're just going to fall. And either way, Flash has what he wants. Peter invented a dissolve for the webbing that he was going to give Flash, but it was a good thing he kept it for himself. This allows Peter to escape, and Peter needs a plan to stop this Spider-Man. He needs to figure out a way. He needs to find an opportunity. And this is where he talks to Uncle Ben and Aunt May, and they give him a little bit of perspective, and Peter begins to invent. He begins to use his mind. Now, most people don't give Peter credit for this, but he's one of the smartest men in the Marvel Universe. Absolutely brilliant scientist. Anyways, Flash Thompson is threatening Jolly J. Jameson, and right when he was about to bring the hammer down upon him, there comes a loud crash. Boom and rip. The door comes right off. And all these claws. And what is this? It is the Spider-Man. Yes, Peter Parker, teaming up with Otto Octavius, has invented a new machine. And he is the Spider-Man. Yes, Peter Parker has become the Spider-Man, but in a much, much different way. And he attacks Thompson, who is faster, but Peter has built safeguards against his webbing, coating his legs where the webbing will slide right off. And also, he has an anti-webbing liquid for when he gets squirted with it. Yeah. And literally, he builds every little invention to beat out Flash. He has new and improved webbing. And also, he has a new gizmo that sits on top of his head. This allows him to disrupt, hear me, disrupt Spider-Man's spider sense. Now, why I've never seen this invention before or used ever since is amazing to me. But he's found a way to tap into the psychic impulses the Spider-Man feels. Can you imagine the brilliance of that? Just take a minute to think about that. Anyways, he beats out Flash. Of course, he gets a kiss from Betty Brant. They arrest Flash Thompson. And Jolly J. Jameson actually takes Peter Parker into the fold. He actually likes him. Believe it or not, Spider-Man is actually liked by J. Jameson in reality. Anyways, Peter comes home. He explains the whole thing to Uncle Ben, Aunt May, the Fantastic Four land. Sue invites Spider-Man to the Fantastic Tower. And this is where the plot thickens, I should say. Of course, Reed Richards has to step in. They end up curing Flash of his Spider-Man ailment. And Peter thinks they're going to give it to him. And he thinks of all the good that he can do. All the lives that he could save. All the money that he could make. But Reed has other plans. Reed turns right around and dumps it right in the sink. And says that he has his brilliant mind. And that's all that he needs. With the help of his aunt and uncle, the love and support of his people, he'll become a great hero to rival even the Fantastic Four, as Johnny and Ben kind of shrug. But yes, this new Spider-Man goes off and fights crime in a much different way, in a very different Spider-Man. But still, the heart of a hero nonetheless. And this was a peek into another reality. And I'm the Comic Outlaw. And I'll catch you on the flip side. Yeah!